Hello, my name is Elizabeth Lovett, representing Troop 4048, and I will be presenting my stage management portfolio from Bonnie and Clyde by Ivan Mitchell. While stage managing Bonnie and Clyde, I was given a load of responsibilities that I had never had before. This show was my first time being the stage manager, and luckily being in ASM for Productions last year truly helped me to overcome the many challenges that I faced. As stage manager, my director's cast and crew relied on me to keep us on schedule, focused, and set before every rehearsal and show. We were already on a tight schedule with low budget, so stress was high for everybody. One of the most important responsibilities I felt I had was to create an environment where everyone had fun and felt like that they could talk to me at any time. Through this, I was able to make so many new friends and connections, and I noticed it also helped our production process run smoother because everyone had a sense of respect for each other. Another huge responsibility I had during this production was attendance. Getting the cast and crew to communicate their absences and tardies was harder than I expected, and sometimes I wouldn't even get a notice beforehand. Our cast was small, but our ensemble was large, so many times if an ensemble member was missing, it wasn't the biggest deal. Unfortunately, not everything can run perfectly, and we had a cast member not show up to a performance at the last minute with no notice, and I had to take on their role all while being able to call the show and make my sound cues when not on stage. This role was thankfully a smaller one and only in 3 scenes, which meant I was still able to call the show and be on time for all of my cues. This show did not go easy on me and presented many challenges. For starters, Bonnie and Clyde is not an ensemble-heavy show, with there only being 2 ensemble members, 4 leads, and a handful of side characters. Our directors wanted to put a twist on the show and cast a large ensemble to have us spectators of the story of Bonnie and Clyde. For any other show, this wouldn't have been an issue, but our set being stationary, limited wing space, and small technical crew forced the ensemble to be sitting on stage the entire show. This made the lighting design very tedious because there were some scenes where it needed to be set on certain characters only, and the ensemble shouldn't be seen to keep the tone of the story alive. As I mentioned before, keeping track of cast and crew absences was quite difficult. Canvas was one of the most important tools that I used for this production. Here, I would take attendance and keep track of every single rehearsal where attendance was necessary, which in the end was a grade for the actors. After production, I averaged their total points, and that number, as you can see on the far right, was their grade for the show. Using grades of 10, 5, or 0, I took attendance. They got a 10 if they were present and on time, a 5 if they were tardy or left early with no excuse, and a 0 if they were absent without excuse. In the case they were excused from a performance or show, they received a score of excused, and it did not have a negative impact on their final grade. Another important tool used was Instagram, where we had a group chat including everyone in the show, both cast and crew, and made any announcements or important updates and sent it out all at once. Whenever there was an absence amongst the cast, it was my responsibility to ensure their role, if they had speaking lines, was covered. We had a number of roles changing around to cover for someone who was missing, which in return meant the mic plot also had to change. This mic plot was the hardest challenge I've faced during this production by far. We're usually given 16 mics per show, but I only had 12 for this, and it took me and my ASM about a week to figure out the mic plot and lots of reading of our script. We wanted to ensure everyone who had a line, even if it was just one word, had a mic. We were then struck by a miracle and found 2 spare mics in our technical booth, saving the day. And after many rough drafts, we had finally made the perfect mic plot that ran smoothly and had every line mic'd. But once roles got changed around, things were made more difficult. We had to find the changes and solutions before the second week of shows to keep the smooth transitions of mic changes flowing. Mics 1 through 4 were designated to our leads, while the rest were interchangeables. With our short time frame for this production, as soon as one-act competition was over, the work for Bonnie and Clyde immediately began. We quickly discussed what the set needed and what we wanted it to look like amongst our technical theater class. Then me and my technical director began to go through the script to make sure we had all of the scenes and locations as a part of our set. Set building took about 3 weeks, and then we had to do the lighting design. I've been helping my technical director with lighting design since my freshman year and have had the opportunity to design entire shows in previous years. This year we were able to get new lights, so learning how those worked added an extra step to the process. I've been to every rehearsal and had all the choreography recorded on my phone, as well as all of the blocking notes, which made this lighting design process go much easier since we had no actors on stage while we were doing it. Once the lighting design was complete, the next thing on my to-do list was making the props list, mic plot, mic changes, and the characters to scene sheet to hang backstage. I wanted my technicians to be able to have access to the characters in each scene as well as the mic changes. That way, if there was ever a time where I was unavailable, they would still feel confident to be able to complete what needed to be done. This also benefited the cast because they knew what scene they needed to be in, and for those who had an interchangeable mic, they knew when they needed to be ready to get their mic taken off or put on. By this time, we were doing run-throughs, which helped me and my crew get used to the flow of the show. Our crew was lucky enough to be able to have headsets for this year, which made communication much easier throughout the entire process. I would be the main one on headset, calling light cues, set cues, and mic change cues to my entire crew, while running the sound cues from our booth, making tech run smoothly. Each night, I grew prouder of each and every technician involved because it only got better after each show. And everyone was doing something new and was able to execute it well and professionally. With stage management, you are hit with so many obstacles that others rely on you to fix while staying calm and collected, and I learned from previous senior stage managers, and I hope to be a role model for future stage managers of our troupe. I also learned that my energy and attitude can affect so many others in the way that they see things. There were plenty of times where morale and energy amongst cast and crew was low, and I knew I needed to be the one to bring the positive and make the day fun for everyone. Whether it was cracking jokes with the cast or just checking in on everybody, this helped the production process to feel fun and also created a safe space in the theater and left others feeling that they could trust in me. While my theater career will end in high school, my passion and love for theater never will, and I will always carry the moments, memories, and lessons that I have learned, especially from stage managing, with me throughout my future. Thank you for your consideration.